Ladies and gentlemen, they're cute, clever, mischievous, intelligent, and dangerous. Behold to your very eyes, ladies and gentlemen, Neca Toys has done it again with a brand new release. Well, this release has been out for a while. This happens to be one of my favorite 1980s films of all time, 1985, Gremlins, one of the best films ever created, the best Christmas movies ever made. This is a Gremlins action figure, and I cannot believe I got this at Target. I am Saj the Boss, and today we'll be taking a look at this epic figure. I got Target for $35. With a gift card, I got this for $2.99, ladies and gentlemen. So, without further ado, let's take a look at the beautiful packaging of Neca Toys Gremlins, the ultimate gremlin. And here's Gizmo in the little box he got for Christmas from Billy. So Billy is holding a little Giz right there, which is adorable. This is a classic poster from Gremlins, totally 80s. I love the light blue all over the figure. You got Gremlins right here. You got the back of the packaging. This is like the ultimate gremlin, all the classic accessories. And it's just amazing. It says a gadget. This is basically the plot of the movie right here. It says Gremlins in the classic red. I'm surprised there's no red lettering on this, but the blue, navy, and the light blue raise colors raise up. But it says a gadget salesman is looking for a special gift for his son and friends, and one in the store at Christmas, one in the store in Chinatown. So he found a shopkeeper, and there's really a part to the Maui. That's pretty much the whole plot, guys. I got them for Christmas Eve, so it's really cool. And you got the classic movie theater scene, 3D glasses, the cigarette, the little playing cards, the candy bars, the popcorn, and no Santa hat. But this is totally what it looked like from the film. Inside here, ladies and gentlemen, we got this nice window shot of the gremlin. And then here is the gremlin. This gremlin right here is called Charlie. Charlie the Gremlin. I just could not wait to play with Charlie. Okay, I am Saj the Boss, in case you're wondering who I am on this video, but we're going to see who is inside. Also, rules about Gremlins before we begin. No bright lights, no feeding them after midnight, and if they see the light, they will melt like Dracula. Yes, this is obviously a fake gremlin. I wish it was real, but it's not. If he was real, I'm in trouble, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what shenanigans Charlie will get into. Well, let's crack this thing open. But before that, let's go see who's responsible here. So we got the director right here. We got director Randy Folk. So shout out to everybody who did this figure. I don't know if there's any fabrication accessories to this, but shout out to them. Might be some soft goods. Who knows? But there's also prototypes, cast photography, Wonder Bros. This is a figure here at the barcode right here in case you're looking for them. Check your targets, real toys, Neca Toys. Let's see what this is all about. Before that, ladies and gentlemen, we do have to go over the rules with Neca Toys. One of the rules with Neca Toys before we take them out of the packaging, they're always trapped in a little bit of a barbed wire bubble. So what you want to do, you get some nail clippers and you're going to trim them up like that. And then for all the accessories, I do have a lot of Ziploc bags lying around to keep the figures, accessories fresh and nice. So let's get into it. Also, guys, here is the classic 1980s kind of like photogenic. It's kind of hard to tell, but it's like the high school yearbook background. So nothing really special, but it's really hard to see in the packaging. It's almost kind of like this. Look with that smoke kind of screening, kind of like that classic 80s creature book kind of thing. So really cool. And here is Charlie the Gremlin in the tray. And I love how they're using black, black twisty ties all over the figure. So just be very gentile when you take this out. So let me get everything out, then we can run through the accessories. And this is something I'm just super duper excited to have in the collection. Cannot believe it exists. Okay, guys, so here is Charlie the Gremlin out of the packaging. Before we take a look at this masterpiece, we gotta take a look at some of his accessories. I will open up this accessory here in a minute, but first we're gonna take a look at some of his amazing accessories over here. The first accessory, because they can't really market towards us with Skittles, they chose Brad Bites. I'm wondering if this is a design or a hint, a shout out to one of the directors of Neca Toys, or this is something from the actual film. I can't really tell, but it's called Brad Bites, And on here, it says filled with juicy fruit and bite-sized candies. And it looks really cool. It reminds me of a classic 1980s Skittles candy. And leave in the comments if you guys know what year Skittles has been around. It's been quite some years. And then on the back, it's just a normal candy wrapper, no ingredients and no calories. It's the 1980s. Who cares about ingredients and candy in the 80s? So this is something you might see at a local movie theater. And then, speaking about movie theaters, ladies and gentlemen, we do have a Coca-Cola, ladies and gentlemen. This is a cola or a Coca-Cola, Pepsi, whatever he's drinking, but something very unique about this figure in general is that this cup literally looks like something straight from the 80s, but it has a clear straw, and the ice looks like a filled drink, like a filled, probably the most unique accessory I've ever seen Neca have produced. This is just a very fun accessory, and I just love the livelihood of how big this soda fountain is compared to a Gremlin. It's just really cool. To us, this is like a large drink. This is a ton of calories, and the straw has like the little saliva coming down it too, which is very kind of disgusting, but also very detailed. And I love that ice cubes. Look how cool that is. It's so detailed. Wow. I gotta pause here. Look at that. And for anybody who loves beer as much as I do, here is a Neca Toys version of a beer, or I think this is a Miller Lite. I don't know what beer they're drinking, but they had a scene in the film where they went to the bar and all the Gremlins got drunk and played cards. This is from that scene, one of my absolute favorite scenes in that entire movie. That bar scene, and I love the movie theater scenes, probably the top two scenes in the final Toy Store battle. Just amazing. I just love the whole film in general. Easily, by far, like the top 10 films. But the cool thing about the beer is you can actually kind of have that play feature where you kind of like flip it up, and like the foam of the beer kind of like comes out of it, and the beer is actually in the glass too, which is really cool. It can come out, which is a really cool accessory. So you can have an empty beer glass if you wanted to, or a full beer glass. So really cool. Love it. And it's very detailed too. Look at all the beer in there. That's like a nice dark color. It's almost like a pale ale, which is a really nice beer. It's like a little bit of drippage on the bottom of it, and then the details of the foam. The foam is literally looks like an exact detail to a sculpture of what beer foam looks like. It just looks amazing, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Oh, also by the way, see. It just pours out. It kind of looks like a pill bottle, ladies and gentlemen, like, you know, you get at a pharmacy or something. It kind of reminds me of one of those, and it has beer foam on it, which is kind of funny. So this is what frozen beer literally looks like, ladies and gentlemen. Frozen beer, because the film's shot in winter. So here is a frozen beer. If my camera can focus on it, there we go, frozen beer. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, here is a deck of playing cards right here. This is a ace, a jack, a 7 of diamonds, a jack of spades, and an ace of spades. So this is some really cool cards. No joker cards, but we got a jack card there, which is really cool, and it got some ace. Ace is one of my favorite cards. And then here is the set of the playing cards. It's actually a pretty cool action figure skill accessory too. It's a little bit bigger. It's looking to get inside the Gremlin's hand, but it's probably one of those like bigger additions to playing cards, which is pretty cool. I know those have been around the time, but I know they scaled this up for the figure specifically. So, and then guys, we do have this tiny little cigarette, ladies and gentlemen. It's a little cigarette butt coming out. I don't know too much about cigarettes, other than I know they're big around the 1950s and the 1980s, and still really popular to this day. I don't know what brand this is. Probably a Camel cigarette. I do not know. I do not smoke. Do not smoke, ladies and gentlemen. That is bad for your lungs. No one should do that. Just be really mindful, but it got the nice little details of the cigarette right there. There's no ashtray included, which is kind of a bummer, because I think cigarettes and ashtrays are kind of cool, but this is a really cool accessory for like your Marvel Legends and for things like that, and it does not smell like smoke, so we're good. I don't like the smell of smoke at all. It's terrible, but yeah, there it is, the cigarette, which is a really cool accessory. First time ever seeing a cigarette in action figure scale. So here's this accessory, ladies and gentlemen. This is the hardest one to get out of the packaging. This happens to be the Duda bar. Yes, the Duda bar, the milk chocolate light wrapped whip center, and it's almost a play on Baby Ruth, which is a very cool candy. I don't know if this is actually a real candy bar or not, but I want to try this. It sounds pretty darn tasty. I have that classic 80s packaging, early 90s feel to it. with the blue and red and the white, red, white, and blue right there. You got the nutritions, which is 2.5 ounces, 58 grams, Doodah bar, and then you got the all the ingredients right here and the calories. So this is probably the most accurate accessory right here with all of it. You got the proteins, you got the calories, 2 grams. This is really what it, I don't know if this is what an 80s wrapper looks like. Leave in the comments what an 80s candy bar ingredient calorie count looks like. I have no idea. Okay guys, let's take a look at one of my absolute favorite accessories. The 3D glasses and the bag of popcorn, which I'm gonna get out here in a moment. But you got a bag of popcorn and some 3D glasses, which I'm gonna put on the figure. I just want to be very gentle with it because they're paper accessories, and you do not want to get those ruined. So just be very mindful with that. So that's what I'm gonna do off camera to showcase it and get everything set up. But before that, ladies and gentlemen, we need to take a look at the Gremlin. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here is a closer look at Charlie the Gremlin. Oh my gosh, straight off the bat, he looks like he's smiling at me, and he looks like he just jumped off the classic 1980s film. And his eyes, ladies and gentlemen, are so detailed and painted. It's really hard to see on camera, but his eyes right there, just the red, almost like the eye of Sauron, kind of staring right at you. And I bet he has really bad breath. Look how awesome this thing is. Before he was cute. Now he's ugly as heck. He's just adorable. I just love the little spikes and details all over this action figure. And the skin and weathering on this, it just really reminds me of a dragon. I don't know why, but it just does. It just looks absolutely stunning. Look at every single detail there on the Mogai, which is a really cool creature. This is so cool. That might actually be the thumbnail. I don't know. That is so cool. Look at that. That is sweet. Okay guys, going down on the figure, we do have the teeth kind of shattering all over him, which is really cool. We got the gum drool all over this thing, and it looks amazing. If you open the jaw too, you can kind of see what's inside there. Even more teeth and a painted detailed tongue. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm doing a full anatomy lesson on the Gremlins. This is sick. Oh man, this is one of the coolest action figures I own. One of the coolest action figures. And then his skin is all detailed and scaled everywhere from head to toe. You got this nice white little orange belly. Kind of reminds me of Demogorgon. It kind of looks like a Demogorgon. So I wonder if Demogorgons were inspired by Gremlins. But you actually see a lot of inspiration from Stranger Things, using a creature of the Black Lagoon as well. Looking at all of his scales from head to toe. He was really furry, but now he's like scales, and he has like gills and things and spikes all over it. And the paint apps with the stripes just look amazing. I think each Gremlin has a different take on their stripes and their patterns and their behavior, obviously. And then the knees right here got the more of the big texture on there, and then the inner thigh and the groin has that same little thing in there too. And we also got the more of that as well. And then they have some massive claws and talons on his hands, which are epic. Look how big that nail is. Oh man, that's gnarly looking. Oh, this is so cool. Wow. How many times have I said the word cool in this video? But oh man, that's sweet. And then on the back of it, ladies and gentlemen, we do have the tail of it. It reminds me of a killer bee tarantula. I don't know what to call it besides absolutely stunning. Look at that detail on the back of the Gremlin here, the butt of a Gremlin. Wow, this is so cool. It's so detailed. It's kind of hard to pick up here on camera, but how detailed and wonderful this action figure actually is. It also got the Metamorphosis, I'm butchering this word, what caterpillars go through, where they're all in the cocoon. This is what the aftermath of the cocoon looks like on their back, which is really cool too. Wow, that is so cool. I'm surprised he's not burning alive in my bright light. Oh my goodness, wow. That is sick. Also guys, I forgot one more rule about Charlie here. Do not get him wet or he will melt. Okay guys, here is the articulation of Charlie, ladies and gentlemen. So Charlie the Gremlin, his head can look up about this much. It's very tight out of the packaging. You don't want to snap his head off, but he can look side to side, and he has a beautiful dumbbell joint. that can move up and turn his head like this much, side to side, like he's looking around, which is really cool. Like, I gotta tell you, this is the neck joint right here, which is really cool to see that on the figure. His ears do have articulation, which is so cool. We got ear articulation on Charlie here. Really cool. It's almost like a dog. You don't want to break these off, but they can wiggle through and through here. His arms, ladies and gentlemen, are so tight out the box. I know it's an older figure too, but he can stretch his arms out about this much, guys, and this far. Very tight wingspan. He does have a single jointed elbow there, so a single jointed elbow on Charlie. And then he also has some nice hinge right there on the rest peg. Which is okay, which is really nice. You can get a lot of cool accessories in there, I think. He has a dumb diaphragm joint, side to side. He has an ab crunch forward, an ab crunch back, waist swivel. And then his legs, extremely tight at the packaging. I don't want to heat this thing up either. I might have to end up doing that. But they don't go as far as I wanted, because it's almost like that crouching kind of pose you all know with Gremlins. It's almost one of those things too with Gremlins where like the crouching pose, you can actually get them into like all sorts of like really cool poses there. And then he does have a single jointed knee. I don't want to play with it because Neca toys, I don't want to bust my figures. But you can kind of get it out there, but don't want to. It's kind of almost like a swivel there, like a boot swivel. And then he has beautiful ankle pivot, and then the talons on the figure. Look at that, it's part bird. Okay, guys. So I'm going to load up Charlie here with his accessories. And I also forgot to mention that his jaw can open up too. It's a little bit easier on this figure than Alf. But it depends on what NECA figure you're messing around with. He has open jaws and different things. But that's one of my favorite things. The really cool ways to articulate a figure, and the really cool ways to include a really cool play feature. So, really cool. Really got a lot of value here. So, let me load up everything, and I'll show you some comparisons here. Okay, guys. Here is Charlie loaded up, ladies and gentlemen. He looks amazing. He just saw the latest screening of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and he's smoking a cigarette, drinking a cola, and wearing his epic 3D glasses. And the 3D glasses are actually made out of paper, but they're sculpted with plastic, which is a very nice touch for an action figure at this scale. And he got the classic popcorn bag on his ear from that Notorious scene. And I just think he looks so much fun. He just has the best time he ever had. Before I get any further with this action figure, tell you everything I enjoyed about this, I gotta bring in some special guests. First off, from a galaxy far, far away, this character is another classic 1980s character. And it is notoriously Chewbacca. Here is Chewbacca next to Charlie the Gremlin, and he looks amazing. They're roughly about the same height, and they're just going to look amazing side by side. They're just totally two iconic 80s characters back to back. And you can imagine a NECA Toys Chewbacca, that will sell like hotcakes. And then representing one of my favorite franchises of all time, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, one of the best turtles out there, Michelangelo from Turtles 3, Lost in Time, feudal Japan era, Michelangelo. Absolutely adore this head sculpt. And here he is. And cheers to the people who made my life the way it is. Notoriously, Alf and the Gremlins are totally like my love of the 80s. This is like my love child. This is like literally my sons standing side by side, the founding fathers of modern day science fiction, right here, standing here today. Alf, I love you so much. And why does NECA Toys will not give you some accessory sets? Because I have the figure and I don't want to rebuy the figure and get the awesome accessories. I'm just waiting for the multi-pack with all the accessories, all the shirts and different things coming out. Come on, NECA. I'm like the only one who's fighting for it. Come on. But this is just too iconic, and I just gotta say, cheers to the 80s. We love you, and this is totally perfect. I just love this. Really cool. And the accessories do intertwine, ladies and gentlemen. So here's Alf perfectly holding a mug of beer. Cheers, an elf deserves the beer. He can't have the cat, but he can have the beer. Okay guys, this will wrap it up for today's video. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button. Before I close this out and thank everybody, I gotta rate this figure a solid 10 out of 10. This figure has amazing likeness, amazing articulation, amazing photography purposes. It just really is a highlight to your collection. If you're new to the Gremlins line as I am, I say this will be another expensive rabbit hole like the Turtles, and I might get the Gremlins every now and then for the collection. And I might be going back to Target later and maybe getting Gizmo. Who knows, but I just love the Gremlins in general. And my only gripe about this figure, there's no interchangeable hands, which is kind of sad. I get the standard hands, again, like intertwine the accessories with it, but it'd been really nice to have some interchangeable hands with this piece. Other than that, perfect figure, absolutely a grail in my collection, and just love every single accessory, and by far the 3D glasses make the figure. The cigarette just really describes the 1980s, and the cola, best accessory Neca has ever produced. And thank you, and as always, I am Saj the Boss, and if you enjoyed this, please give a like and leave a comment down below, and stay tuned for other awesome Neca toy action figures and other figures on my channel. Thank you, and I'll see you guys later for more. Let me know who you guys want to see next in the collection. I have a lot of figures I cannot wait to get my hands on, so thank you very much for your time.